Good evening, friends. This is important. The poverty rate in the United States is now spiking. The Biden administration has criticized Republicans for not extending crisis-era benefits. However, there is now growing support from both parties for legislation that would directly assist low-income families. Several lawmakers in Congress are estimating it will cost $50 billion to expand benefits. My dear friends, please do me a big favor and watch until the end of this video to hear about all of these new details. Also, every Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway friends, please click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways.
And finally, on student debt relief. Last month, President Biden announced his new SAVE plan for student loan borrowers, calling it the most affordable student loan repayment plan ever created. And not one day into this work period, Senate Republicans are already trying to torpedo this new lifeline for millions of American borrowers. In the wake of the Supreme Court's horrendous decision earlier this year, President Biden has unrolled a student debt plan that already is helping millions. It's targeted relief for those who need it most: working-class families, middle-class families, borrowers of color, and remarkably, 4 million borrowers have already enrolled. Those with undergraduate loans will pay no more than 5% of their income. Many borrowers with lower incomes will see their monthly student loan payments cut in half. Some will see it drop to zero, and many more will save up to $1,000 a year on payments. Think about what these savings will empower people to do. Save for a down payment on a home, start a family, create a business, contribute to the economy. Isn't that something we should all get behind? Well, apparently and unfortunately, Senate Republicans think not. On the very same day that the administration announced 4 million borrowers have enrolled to the SAVE plan, Senate Republicans announced their plan to eliminate this lifeline. It's becoming a trend. Democrats work hard to find new ways to provide relief for borrowers in need, and then Republicans, instead of working with us to find a fix to our broken student loan system, immediately shoot them down. My colleagues on the other side like to talk about lowering costs, but then they turn around and oppose any attempt to give student loan borrowers the help they need. And for them, that's maybe the biggest or one of the biggest costs that they have. The Republicans use the same old tired excuse: the student loan relief only helps the few, the wealthy. That's utter nonsense. President Biden's SAVE plan will benefit the Americans who need it most: working and middle-class families, students of color, community college students, and borrowers working in public service. Senate Democrats will strongly oppose this Republican measure should it come to the floor for a vote. And we will stand with student loan borrowers as we continue to push for as much relief as possible. I yield the floor.
Now, friends, legislators are heading home for the holidays. They leave behind a dysfunctional Congress and a country with 11 million children who are living in poverty. After a brief reprieve, child poverty is once again on the rise in the United States. But according to The Guardian, Congress can put a stop to that as members of both houses and parties work together on an end-of-the-year tax deal. They can re-implement a popular measure that has proven to dramatically reduce childhood poverty, which is the expanded child tax credit. In 2021, the American Rescue Plan significantly expanded the child tax credit, increasing payments by up to $1,600. The plan paid out the credit monthly and expanded eligibility to include more families who were in need. The result was remarkable. The expanded credit lifted 2.9 million children out of poverty, provided a crucial lifeline to families during the worst of the crisis, and brought the U.S. child poverty rate to the lowest level ever recorded. It was one of the most successful policy decisions the government has made in decades. But last December, Senate Democrat Joe Manchin refused to extend the credit because he believed parents would not use it properly. This was despite a survey by the Census Bureau, released just months earlier, that proved over 90% of families were spending the money on food, shelter, and school supplies for their children. And it was despite acute poverty in his home state, where the tax credit helped more than 300,000 children in 2021. But Senator Manchin refused to extend the expansion, and Senate Republicans did nothing to help it. It lapsed at the end of 2021, leading to an immediate, massive increase in child poverty in 2022, doubling from 5.2% to 12.4%. Currently, 11 million children live in poverty, and 19 million children receive less than the full tax credit because their parents do not make enough money. But after 2 years of sustained pressure by activists and advocates, there are finally signs that this profoundly impactful benefit could be restored. A bipartisan coalition is growing on Capitol Hill to bring back the expanded credit in some form, with a tax deal that could be reached as soon as January. It would cost an estimated $50 billion over 2 years, and if they succeed, it would represent a win for all parties. 75% of voters are in favor of restoring the credit, including 64% of Republicans. According to CNBC News, Democratic lawmakers in Washington, D.C. are renewing a proposal to give every American child $1,000 at birth. The baby bond funds, called American Opportunity Accounts, would then be topped off with up to $2,000 per year. The accounts would be federally insured and managed by the U.S. Department of Treasury. Account holders would be able to access the funds once they turn 18 to pay for eligible uses, such as higher education or home ownership. The bill, which is called the American Opportunity Accounts Act, was reintroduced last week by Senator Cory Booker and Representative Ayanna Pressley. For a family of 4 with less than $25,100 in income, the accounts may reach about $46,000 by the time a child reaches 18 years old. Those sums would be reduced for families with higher incomes as annual supplement payments gradually phase out. The legislation calls for making the changes fully paid for by raising inheritance and estate taxes. A 2019 analysis by the Committee for Responsible Federal Budget found the bill's proposed revenue increases would more than offset the cost of the legislation. Well, my amazing and most awesome friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. My dear friends, thank you for being part of this community. The winners of yesterday's Walmart gift card giveaway is Alberto Jr. and Wayne Davis. Congratulations, my dearest friends. To claim your gift cards, please check your notifications page and send me a message. Or, my friends, you could message me on my Facebook page. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed Christmas weekend.